I got some things to talk about this morning. What's going on? Let me know when you guys come on in here because it's going down. It's going down this morning. Stephen A. Smith just went annihilation mode on Steve Kerr. And for good reason. He did it for good reason. Let me know as you guys come on in here. Let me know as you guys come on in here. Hold on, let me get my setup right. Because Stephen A. Smith, he went straight parabolic on Steve Kerr. Now, a lot of people think that Steve Kerr is just a place filler. He just over there sitting on the bench. A lot of them even feel the same thing about what he do for the Golden State Warriors. They feel like the team by itself, he got a ready-made project, for Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson got none of the credit. Steve Kerr gets all of the credit. And they feel like he's like Coach Clapp, like Jason Garrett of the Chicago, not Chicago, but the Dallas Cowboys when he was the head coach, just on the sideline clapping it up and everything like that. And don't give Steve Kerr much credit. But I can't blame them for what Steve Kerr just did. I can't. I cannot blame them for what Steve Kerr just did. This was ridiculous. Absolutely, utterly ridiculous that he found no minutes to give a player like a Jason Tatum. It was absolutely ridiculous. And Stephen A. Smith basically just let everybody know about it. This was absolutely ridiculous. Let me know what you guys think about what this little thing that Steve Kerr did by not playing Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, come on now. He don't get no respect. Hold on, let me see where I can see the chat. Hold on 1 second. Let me get my stuff together so where I can at least see the chat. Hold on 1 second. At least see my chat real quick. Yeah, come on in here. Let me see who's going to say something. Steve Kerr is absolutely out of his mind. Jason Tatum just won an NBA championship. He wasn't the Finals MVP, but much believe that he could have won that Finals MVP if he had showed a little bit more hunger out there. But he was still a good player. Still a good player. People act like he was out there just trash. Jason Tatum was out there holding his own. Come on now. And many believe that Jaylen Brown should not have got that MVP. But what Steve Kerr just did, it was absolutely disrespectful. And even the performance that Kevin Durant put forth, even though he had no practice games, no friendly matches is what they call, no exhibition matches, he puts Kevin Durant out there with no questions asked, no. He didn't start him. He did not start Kevin Durant. But Kevin Durant, I mean, my God. This dude, it's a reason why Steve Kerr elected to put him in the game when he did. And they cleared it with the Phoenix Suns because the dude was coming off a calf strain, what they said. But he's absolutely justified in playing Kevin Durant. There's no way I wouldn't have played Kevin Durant. But if you didn't give Jason Tatum 2, 3, 4 minutes just out of respect, now as a basketball player, not on the NBA level, I played in college, I do understand you don't want to be out there during garbage time. Like if a coach don't play you and he elects to play you during garbage time, it's kind of disrespectful. It really is. It's disrespectful when a coach elects to play you during garbage minutes because even if you score out there, they'd be like, oh, you was out there during garbage time. It didn't matter. But in these Olympic Games, it does matter because you're basically judged off of how many points you beat a team by. It's not just based off of you winning. It's based off how many points are you beating a team by. Let me know when you guys come in the chat. That's what it's based off. So for him not to play Jason Tatum is absolutely ridiculous to me. It's unexcusable. It really is. And I want to play you guys the clip of what Stephen A. pretty much going off on Coach Steve Kerr for basically being on the sideline as a nobody. He's just on the sideline. A lot of people believe he's not actually coaching. They believe that Steve Kerr is not actually coaching the team. They felt the same thing about him, even when he was with the Golden State Warriors, which he still is. They feel like he's not actually coaching the team. He's just out there on the sideline. That's what they feel. Let me know. So that's exactly what they feel. They feel like he's not actually coaching the team. So this, yeah.
Because we got to get to him. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the man elected not to play Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum. 0 minutes. Jason Tatum, the last 3 years, all NBA first team. Jason Tatum, top 6 for league in the category for league MVP. Jason Tatum, the reigning defending NBA champion. Jason Tatum. And you can't find minutes? In a 26-point lopsided victory, you can't find 1 minute for Jason Tatum. I'm trying to get away from cussing because, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I'm a decent human being that loves the Lord, and my pastor's watching me sometimes, and I know he gets mad at me when I cuss. But Steve Kerr, that's some straight bullshit. I mean, really. You got to be kidding me. I mean, what possible excuse could you have for that? I want to hear this. And I'm reading these reports, and these people getting on my damn nerves. Getting on my damn nerves. But before I get into any of that with Steve Kerr and his BS, let's hear his BS excuse or rationale when he was talking to ESPN's own Brian Windhorst, who was on this show last week previewing the Olympic competition. This is Steve Kerr with Brian Windhorst after not finding a minute to play Jason Tatum. Listen to this.
You guys play your best game of the whole summer to this point, but you didn't get to use Jason Tatum, who's obviously one of the best players in the league. Obviously, that's one of the hard things to do in your role.
Yeah, it's tough, but Jason handled it really well. I talked to him today before the game that it may play out this way, just with Kevin coming back and the lineups that I wanted to get to.
And like I said, Stephen A. Smith is hot. He's absolutely hot around the collar about not playing Jason Tatum, and I do not blame him. The dude just came off a championship. You could have at least played a couple minutes. Like I said, as a basketball player, as a sports player, you don't want to be out there during garbage minutes. It makes you look bad if you score out there. You be like, well, you scored during garbage time. But not in these Olympic Games. That does not matter during the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games, all that matters is that you out there. You know what I mean? And that you out there contributing to the player. It says, I would have been more disrespectful. It would have been more disrespectful to put him in during garbage time. He will probably start next game. I feel you on that, Josh. And he did, as credit to Steve Kerr, he did say that him and Jason talked before the game. But in my opinion, bro, you got to get him in the second half. You got to get him in. Now, I don't like the shot quality that Jason Tatum usually has. I don't like the step back 2-point shots. I damn sure don't like the step back 3-point shots. And then to make matters worse, Jason Tatum not only will step back, he'll do a fadeaway step back, reverse turn pivot, and fade away from the 3-point shot with a long ass release. Jason Tatum has a very long delivery and a very long release on the ball. His shot ain't nowhere near like the beauty of a Devin Booker or the quickness of a Steph Curry. Nowhere near it. He has a very long release and long delivery on the basketball. That's just what he got. It's just what he has. So for him to take the shot quality that he takes, it makes him look weak and it makes him look not aggressive. And that's the tag that he has on him because, on the same team, you have Jaylen Brown that attacks the rim with reckless abandon. Great defender. Maybe not great. Yeah, he's a good defender, not great. He's a good defender. I feel like he can be a better defender, like a White, with Derek White, if he wasn't asked to do so much on the offensive end. Jaylen Brown, I feel like he'll be a better defender if he wasn't asked to do so much on the offensive end. Because sometimes Jason Tatum, he just looks out of it. He looks lethargic out there. It looks like he half sleepy. He just worried about his S curl on his head. Walking, he got his little Jordans on. He's doing the wrong things, and people get tired of him, or some people comparing him to Kobe Bryant. That gotta stop. People comparing that man to Kobe Bryant. I hope that's to bed now. I hope that's to bed. But a lot of people feel like I said, Steve Kerr is just out there collecting dust, having a seat on the bench, and not really coaching the team. They question his lineups. I still feel questionable about him getting all the credit that Mark Jackson built up that Golden State Warriors team with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. You know that was Mark Jackson too. But nobody says that. Everybody always just says Steve Kerr this and Steve Kerr that. Top 5 coach of all time, top 10 coach of all time. It's just crazy. Played the best game of the summer, bro. They didn't need him. The night he said that night it's that simple. I feel you. Who was the 18 bat? I think they felt they had a better matchup without Jason Tatum and Halliburton on the floor. And Halliburton is totally different. Halliburton is still not even in his prime. A lot of people forget that coming out of. I think he came out of. It wasn't even a. I think it was like the Shockers. It wasn't even a high big D1 college like that. I think it was a D2 college that Halliburton came from. He's not even in his prime. He's just happy to be on the bench. I'm just happy to be here. Halliburton is just happy to be there, bro. For real. I want y'all to hear Steve Kerr's explanation on not playing Jason Tatum. I want you guys to hear his explanation that Brian Windhorst got from him on why didn't you play Jason Tatum? Like, why didn't you do it? So I'm gonna play you guys that clip and let you guys hear this.
Game of the whole summer to this point, but you didn't get to use Jason Tatum, who's obviously one of the best players in the league. Obviously, that's one of the hard things to do in your role.
Yeah, it's tough, but Jason handled it really well. I talked to him today before the game that it may play out this way, just with Kevin coming back and the lineups that I wanted to get to. But that'll change. You know, Jason's going to play. Every game's going to be different based on matchups. He's a total pro. He's, first team All-NBA 3 years in a row. I felt like an idiot not playing him. But in a 40-minute game, you can't play more than 10. You really can't. And so I think he's an amazing guy, great player, and handled it beautifully. And he'll be back out there next game.
Oh, that's such bullshit. Come on.
Steve Kerr. I mean, hey, you heard what Stephen A. felt about it. It's complete and total bull crap. You guys, if you want to support the channel as well, become a channel member. We got it going on over here at the Rick One Ball channel. Check out my shorts, my videos, my live streams. We keep up on all the NBA content and all sports content in general. I got some big things going on with sponsors here in the next upcoming week. One of the things is going to be Locker.bet. I'm going to create my own team, you guys, and I want you guys to join me. We're going to have I think it's a $20 sign up to join my team on Locker.bet. We're going to create some player sports apps, bets, and we're going to get some good things going for the NFL season. But that's much coming this next week. I'm going to go ahead and drop that information. But you guys are absolutely awesome. I appreciate you guys. If you guys have anything you guys want to add to this, go ahead and enter it in the chat. But this is just hilarious to me that Stephen A. Smith, he's not that fond of Steve Kerr. He believes that Mark Jackson should still be a head coach in the NBA. And I do believe the same as well. I feel like his unceremonious departure from the Golden State Warriors, really for no reason. I was hearing that, according to reports, it was basically because of he was a pastor of a church, and I think it was some issues with him being able to make certain engagements because he had to be at the church, and he had to just do what he had to do for the church. So, I guess that didn't sit well with the owner. What's his name? Jacob, whatever his name is, and everything like that. But I believe that Mark Jackson should definitely still be a head coach. He definitely should still be a head coach for sure. And you can see that he's still sour about it on the sideline. He's a good commentator, but usually on the sideline, it feels like it's a little bit of sour grapes, especially when they have him calling Golden State Warriors games. I feel like that's just disrespectful. I really do. 116 people in the chat. I appreciate you guys so much. Hit that like button for your boy Rick One Ball. I really appreciate it. I ain't going to take too much of you guys' time. 282 people in the chat. But like I said, I want to play that Stephen A. Smith clip here again in a second. But if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys are new to the channel. Put a 2 in the chat if you're returning. 2 in the chat if you're returning. 1 in the chat if you're a new a new channel viewer. Let me know. I want to see something real quick. 282 people in the chat, 15 minutes in. Really appreciate you guys. Like I said, I want to show you this Stephen A. Smith clip one more time so we can check that out. But yeah, I don't believe it's acceptable for what Steve Kerr did. I just don't. I don't even care about the reasoning. I just don't.
Because we got to get to him. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the man elected not to play Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum. 0 minutes. Jason Tatum, the last 3 years, All NBA first team. Jason Tatum, top 6 for league in the category for league MVP. Jason Tatum, the reigning defending NBA champion. Jason Tatum. And you can't find minutes? In a 26-point lopsided victory, you can't find 1 minute for Jason Tatum. I'm trying to get away from cussing because, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I'm a decent human being that loves the Lord, and my pastor's watching me sometimes, and I know he gets mad at me when I cuss. But Steve Kerr, that's some straight bullshit. I mean, really. You got to be kidding me. I mean, what possible excuse could you have for that? I want to hear this. And I'm reading these reports, and these people getting on my damn nerves. Getting on my damn nerves. But before I get into any of that with Steve Kerr and his BS, let's hear his BS excuse or rationale when he was talking to ESPN's own Brian Windhorst, who was on this show last week previewing the Olympic competition. This is Steve Kerr with Brian Windhorst after not finding a minute to play Jason Tatum. Listen to this.
You guys play your best game of the whole summer to this point, but you didn't get to use Jason Tatum, who's obviously one of the best players in the league. Obviously, that's one of the hard things to do in your role.
Yeah, it's tough, but Jason handled it really well. I talked to him today before the game that it may play out this way, just with Kevin coming back and the lineups that I wanted to get to. But that'll change,
And that's just what it is. I want to show you also, Kevin Durant in this game has 17 minutes, 23 points, 8 of 9 field goals. He started off 8 of 8. I mean, the dude couldn't miss. So I do not blame Steve Kerr for not playing, for playing Kevin Durant. I don't blame him for that. 5 of 5 from 3-point shooting. I always say that Kevin Durant needs to shoot more threes instead of these long twos. But guess what? In FIBA basketball, in the Olympics, those long twos are actually threes. Because the 3-point, I don't know if people know this, but the 3-point line, I think is 2 foot shorter. I just know it's shorter. I think it's 2 feet shorter. Kevin Durant was on fire. 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds. I'm not getting on Steve Kerr for playing Kevin Durant. What I am getting on him for is not finding any type of minutes for Jason Tatum. The dude that just came off an NBA championship, you guys making him think that don't even mean nothing. That obviously his championship means nothing. Since he didn't win that Finals MVP, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy.